Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of dieting, trying every trick, every fad, yet the scale barely budges? Or perhaps you lose weight temporarily, only to gain it all back with frustration and fatigue? As a physician and researcher with decades of experience studying metabolism, nutrition, and sustainable health, I want to share a paradigm shift in weight loss zone that honors your body's unique biology, your lifestyle, and your well-being. This is not about crash diets or punishing restrictions. Instead, it's a scientifically grounded, holistic approach that helps you lose weight efficiently, healthfully, and permanently. Nutrition. The metabolic foundation. Low-carbohydrate diets and metabolic efficiency. Numerous randomized controlled trials, RCTs, and meta-analyses support low-carbohydrate diets as effective tools for weight loss. A 2017 meta-analysis in the British Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that individuals following low-carb diets lost significantly more weight and experienced greater improvements in cardiovascular risk factors compared to low-fat diets over a 12-month period. The mechanism involves the reduction of insulin secretion, which facilitates lipolysis, the breakdown of stored fat. Insulin, a key anabolic hormone, signals the body to store energy as fat. Thus, lowering carbohydrate intake reduces insulin levels and promotes fat mobilization. Caloric deficit through macro and micronutrient management. The principle of energy balance remains central. To lose weight, energy expenditure must exceed intake. However, quality of calories matters as much as quantity. Proteins have a higher thermic effect of food. Up to 20–30% of protein calories are expended in digestion compared to 5–10% for carbohydrates and 0–3% for fats. Adequate protein intake also preserves lean body mass during weight loss, crucial for maintaining basal metabolic rate, BMR. Scientific consensus suggests 1.2–1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily during calorie restriction optimizes preservation of muscle mass. Whole foods versus ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods contribute disproportionately to weight gain and metabolic dysfunction. Studies published in JAMA Internal Medicine 2019 found that ad libitum consumption of ultra-processed foods led to a significant increase in calorie intake, plus 500 kcal day, and consequent weight gain compared to unprocessed food diets. Whole foods are generally more nutrient-dense, richer in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which support satiety, reduce oxidative stress, and promote gut microbiota diversity factors linked to metabolic health. Practical tools for nutritional tracking. Applications like MyFitnessPal enable precise tracking of caloric and macronutrient intake. Research shows that self-monitoring food intake correlates with greater weight loss success. For example, a 2014 study in obesity found that individuals who frequently logged their meals lost twice as much weight as those who did not. Physical activity movement as metabolic catalyst. The role of daily steps. Physical activity enhances energy expenditure and supports cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, and mental health. Walking, especially at moderate intensity, improves insulin sensitivity and lipid metabolism. Studies indicate that 10 steps per day correlates with improved metabolic markers. A 2018 study in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that adults achieving 10 steps daily exhibited significantly lower BMI and waist circumference compared to less active peers. Incremental increases and avoiding sedentarism. Importantly, movement volume is more impactful than intensity for many populations. Increasing from 20 to 50 steps daily can reduce all-cause mortality risk substantially. The concept of non-exercise activity thermogenesis, NEAT energy, expended in daily non-sport activities, is increasingly recognized as a critical factor in weight regulation. Joint and muscle health. Regular walking stimulates synovial fluid production, preserving joint cartilage and preventing stiffness. Moreover, movement aids muscle preservation, which is vital as muscle tissue accounts for approximately 20% of resting metabolic rate. Self-care psychosocial and hormonal implications. The interplay of stress, cortisol, and weight. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, promoting visceral fat accumulation and insulin resistance. The World Health Organization highlights stress as a key contributor to the global obesity epidemic. Self-care practices that reduce stress, such as mindfulness, grooming routines, or relaxation techniques, modulate the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, reducing cortisol secretion. Psychological well-being and behavioral adherence. Positive body image and self-esteem are linked to better adherence to lifestyle changes. Psychological interventions that foster self-compassion and confidence increase the likelihood of maintaining weight loss. Neuroendocrine research shows that dopamine release from rewarding activities reinforces habit formation, suggesting that pleasurable self-care activities can support long-term behavior change. Sleep and hydration essential physiological regulators. Sleep quality and metabolic health. Sleep deprivation disrupts hormonal regulation of appetite, increasing ghrelin, hunger hormone, and decreasing leptin, satiety hormone. The National Sleep Foundation recommends 7-9 hours per night for adults. A 2010 study in the Annals of Internal Medicine demonstrated that sleep restriction leads to a 20% reduction in insulin sensitivity and impaired glucose tolerance, increasing the risk for metabolic syndrome and obesity. Hydration and weight regulation. Water intake supports thermogenesis and metabolic function. Drinking approximately 500 milliliters of water increases metabolic rate by 30% within 10 minutes, lasting at least 30-40 minutes. Boschman et al., 2003. Hydration also aids renal clearance of metabolic byproducts, facilitating toxin elimination that could otherwise impair metabolic processes. General guidelines suggest consuming half the body weight in ounces daily, though individual requirements vary based on activity level, climate, and health status. Cognitive and behavioral foundations. Subconscious beliefs and weight. Behavioral science illustrates that subconscious identity and beliefs strongly influence actions. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and motivational interviewing improve outcomes by restructuring maladaptive thoughts. Visualizing one's ideal self activates neural circuits associated with goal-directed behavior, enhancing motivation and persistence. Smoothing the path to change. Viewing mindset as preparing a path reduces resistance and frustration. Habit formation research identifies consistency, reward, and cue-driven routines as critical for lasting change. Conclusion: integrating science into sustainable lifestyle. Weight loss is a multifaceted physiological and psychological process requiring an integrated approach. Prioritizing nutrient quality, regular movement, psychological self-care, adequate sleep, hydration, and mindset creates a synergy that supports efficient, healthy fat loss. Scientific evidence robustly supports these pillars, transcending fad diets and quick fixes. Implementing gradual, evidence-based changes aligned with individual needs offers the best chance for long-term success.